and welcome back to the Sunday edition. I am your host for today, Trezene, and I am here with Jantina Anderson. She is a cultural advocate, and I am so glad that she is here today as we get ready to talk about this Dove ad that is going around social media over the last 24 hours. Thank you so much, Jantina.
Oh, thank you for the invitation.
I'm glad
to be here.
Yay, I'm so glad that you are. Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, where you're from, tell them a little bit about your work and what you do.
Sure. So as Trezene mentioned, my name is Jantina Anderson. I'm actually from Fort Wayne, Indiana, but currently reside in the Indianapolis area. What I do during the day is I work in a corporation and help with people or talent within the organization. In the evening, I'm a student, a PhD student, so pursuing my doctorate's degree in urban education studies, and my research interest is around Black women and Black females and the exclusion of them, as well as identifying spaces that are freeing or liberating for them. And then at all times, I'm a wife, so I'm married and a mother of two beautiful daughters.
Yes, and they're so gorgeous.
Thank you.
They're lovely babies. So why don't you tell us a little bit more in general about your work? How did you get into really doing research focused around Black women and their aesthetic, and then the spaces they're welcome in and the spaces that aesthetic is not welcome in?
Right. So honestly, I got started in this area because of a Facebook post.
Okay.
So social media, yes.
Okay.
A Facebook post, I believe it was around 2012, 2013. There was a charter school in Ohio that released a dress code policy, which they later termed as a draft. That suggested any students who wore Afro puffs, braids, twists, cornrows, etc., would not be allowed in their school. And so for me, that was around the time that my oldest daughter was starting kindergarten, and that struck a nerve, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm sure. Like, how am I supposed to do their hair if they can't have braids, cornrows, Afro puffs? What am I supposed to do?
Right. Yeah. I looked at it as modern day segregation. I mean, now it was in Ohio, so it didn't necessarily impact me directly or my family, but just to understand that there was a school that was so bold as to say, if you wear your hair in its natural state, we will not educate you. You're not allowed, in our school.
Right.
So that caused me to seek out opportunities to work with school corporations to help them create spaces where all children were welcome and could learn. And then as I began the pursuit of my PhD, which is, I guess, helping me do that in a more formal way, I'm digging deeper into that particular area, that topic.
And what are you finding as you're digging deeper into that subject?
A lot.
I bet. I bet. Give us a few things that have piqued your interest as you've started to go in deeper.
Right. So what I will say is that it's not exclusive to schools. It's not exclusive to academia. This happens whether it be in corporate America, whether it be in advertisements like the Dove campaign. This is everywhere. This is essentially what our culture has communicated and presented around what's good and what's bad. There's a kind of a constant binary regarding what's good, what's acceptable, what's beautiful, what's pleasing, and what's not. And oftentimes Black women or Black people are on the negative or bad end of that binary, whereas white is good.
Would it be safe to say, or would you feel confident in saying that Black people are very well aware that we're on that side of negative?
I would say that as of today, yes. I don't know that we were always as conscious or aware, but I would say with the help of social media, with the help of just more discussions and conversations around it, that yes, we're very much aware. And anytime we see something of that nature happening, we quickly call it out because we understand the implications of it. We understand how it positions and presents us.
I think that leads us right into the Dove ad specifically. So we have a clip of the image that started circling yesterday evening. I'm sure the viewers can see that clip. You've seen it. At the top of it, it's a Black woman with a nude shirt, so brown shirt on. And then, so the first image, you know, she's there, and then she takes it off, and then at the bottom, it's now a white woman with a flesh tone, you know, her flesh, and she's taking that off. So when you saw that, what were your initial thoughts upon seeing just that image?
I thought it was a joke.
Like, this isn't real.
Exactly.
I'm not gonna lie, I did too. I went, somebody is trolling Dove,
Right.
and I'm like, what did Dove really do? I thought maybe it was like a parody or satire or something.
Yes. Yeah. Or like there has to be a video or something more that is coupled with this to help make this more, you know, inclusive, because if not, clearly this is a slap in the face.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, you know, everyone's saying, I think this is fake, I think this is fake. And then all of a sudden we're seeing screenshots of Dove apologizing for it. And I think we have a clip of that too that the viewers can see. The Dove apology, the top one I think is the apology they posted on Twitter, and then they also posted an apology on Facebook, and it basically said, hey, yeah, we posted something the other day. So I went, oh my God, they did do it.
Yes.
And then they said, we missed the mark on this one. Our bad. And I'm like, wait. So I'm still on, this was not a joke. This was not someone playing around. You guys actually did this, and then your apology wasn't really an apology. It was, we missed the mark. So even upon seeing that and you realizing that it was real and it really came from Dove, what were your thoughts then?
So my thoughts, I mean, it's, I guess at times you wonder, when will the circle of this type of positioning and negativity stop, right? Because we've seen this before. This is how ads were presented in the past, where the black person, you know, they were made to look like the buffoon or the cartoon, and the white person was the pristine and pure and, again, beautiful.
Right.
So this is 2017.
Yes.
I mean, we're almost in 2018. When will it stop? I mean, that was one thought. Another thought is, or was, who do these corporations hire? I mean, they spend how much money? These are billion-dollar corporations, and the industries are just as large. And they, you know, even in their mission and vision and some of their other ads, they talk about wanting to appeal to a large, diverse audience. Yes. But yet you put an ad like this, you know, in social media. And what, of course there's going to be backlash.
You know, so. There was a Dove ad campaign maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago, where they had a sketch artist in a room.
Yes.
Have you seen that?
Yes.
They had a sketch artist in a room, and so what he would do is a woman would come in, and she would sit there, and she would tell the sketch artist what she looks like. He would not see her. He couldn't see her walk in, and she would describe what she looked like. And he would draw based on her description. And then another woman would come in who had just sat with the other woman for 30 minutes. And she was tasked with describing to the sketch artist what that other woman looked like. And so he sketched. And then the original woman would come back out to look at the two. And the description given by the stranger was just much more gorgeous and beautiful than the description that she gave of herself. That ad campaign impacted me tremendously.
Like tears.
Tears.
Yes.
Because we all know that we nitpick in the mirror. Oh my God, this side of my face is wrong shape. This side is my better side. And, you know, maybe if my nose did this. And so we always describe the negative characteristics of ourselves much more grotesquely than they really are. I loved that ad campaign. And then we have this. And we say, wait a minute. You just did so good. What? So I searched for that the Dove ad campaign video because I'm like, this is a part of a video. It wasn't just a still image. And so I did find a 3-second clip of the actual video. So I think we can run that right now. It's very short. You might want to play it twice or so. And so what we discover in the video is that it's the black girl takes off her shirt to become the white girl, and the white girl takes her shirt off and she's Hispanic. And so it's over, you know, they're trying to do one after another. Similar, but not the same as when Michael Jackson did his black and white, So when the black and white video where people morphed into a different person, a guy into a girl. Do you think that changes anything? No. Tell us why.
I don't, because order to be clean or fresh, we need to remove the brown. We need to remove the darker color, and then become a lighter shade. So either this white woman or this Latino, and some have even called her Asian.
They've got to laugh. Like, no laugh. They are dying laughing. You didn't see it? Okay.
Somebody didn't like that comment.
Like, let them get that laugh out. Just let them. Okay, so as you were saying, Jantina.
Yeah.
Where you were saying it doesn't matter because you're alluding to blackness gone and now you're clean and pure because it's white or just not black.
Right, or not dark.
Or not dark.
Right, the pigment of the skin or the color of the shirt is light. So again, going kind of back to the binary.
I agree with you because this isn't Dove's first screw up, you guys. In 2011, they had an ad, and we do have a clip of that because FCN, we're about facts. We're not about just telling you anything. We have a clip of that, of the Dove ad, where you see a before and after. So the before screen has like cracked skin, very dry, and then there's an after of smooth skin. But the black woman is standing in front of the before, and then there's a Hispanic woman right between the before and the after, and then a white woman on the nice, fresh after side, which goes back to what you're saying before. Black is bad. If you use our products, white is good, and now you're good. And then they've had another snafu where with one of their products on the bottle, and I believe it's kind of like a bronzer type of cream or something to make your skin a little darker. But on the bottle, and of course we have a picture of this too, it says for normal to dark skin.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So again, I mean,
what? Like
dark skin is not normal. In some way, this wasn't God's creation. I don't know, just not normal.
You know, and I've used those bronzer creams before. No judgment, people. You to make my legs a little darker before, you know, it's summertime, and you know how sometimes up here is a little darker because the sun hasn't hit. You know, but it didn't say normal to dark skin. It just said if you want this shade to be the end result, then you know use that. In makeup, we fair, medium, dark, mahogany. It's never normal. And then, you know, dark skin. So, you know, Dove has kind of this history of doing these very insensitive things. And I think insensitive is still being too nice and saying that they're doing this thing. You mentioned having history of treating dark skin as being bad, particularly in the beauty industry. There's a history with soap companies in general for having racist advertisements when it comes to soap products. And so we do have a clip. People on social media have compiled these together of way back in the day. You're talking like a long, maybe 1900s, 1800s, I don't know. But it looks like slave babies, and there's soap that they're advertising. And so when you wash the slave baby in the soap, their whole body is completely white and their face isn't. Or you see a black woman washing with the soap and her hands are white, and you're just saying, hey, basically our soap is so good that you can get rid of the dark.
And so when you think about even how children might perceive this, right? So, I mean, we've all read posts or even heard it ourselves if you're of a darker complexion. But when you're in the grocery store and the little child that's never seen a black person before or someone with dark skin, and they're asking their mother, oh, mommy, why are they so dirty? Or they're dirty. And the mother, we don't talk about that. Right? So, I mean, it's real. It happens even without knowing. And then when you have an advertisement that reinforces that, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's very, very problematic. So what are we to take from this? What are we as black women? What are we as black women and men? What are we to take from this?
Well, so I'll segment this a bit. I think corporations need to understand that when they're partnering with ad agencies and creating these types of ads, they need to find ad agencies that have individuals that are sensitive to the consumers that are buying their products. So while, yes, Dove did so well with the beauty campaign, or the majority of their advertisements did well, obviously there was someone there that was, you know, critiquing the videos or the ads before they were released, and they understood how the audience may respond. They need to do the same thing when they're talking about women of color or people of color as well, when they're positioning them within their ads. So they need to be more inclusive with their hiring processes or vetting processes
and you know
with
all
their
about
vendors.
That.
Yes.
That is your day job. You're like, who hired these people?
Yes.
A lot of people on social media were saying, how did this get off the whiteboard and get posted on social media? And a lot of people were like, whiteboard, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, that's true. That it still was able to go through these multiple processes of approval. You know, anyone who's worked in corporate America knows not one single person is making a decision. There are many hoops to jump through to get the green light. And so when you see something like this, you're like, it went through how many people with the thumbs up? You know, so sometimes I wonder, you know, where our first thoughts were, is this real? You know? Do you think there could be an element at all that this was posted on purpose just to be almost inflammatory for the likes, the clicks, the retweets, and the shares?
I sure hope not. But it's worked for others, right? I mean, people have used controversy to their advantage. Now, I can't call them out specifically, but we know it's happened. I just hope that someone that has such at least a personality that's been presented as really wanting to build confidence and positivity for women around beauty and self-confidence, and even building foundations to work with young girls around confidence and beauty, that they wouldn't, take that route to increase sales or discussion. I pray that that's not the case. Because that's a whole nother topic.
That's a whole nother topic. You mentioned, a part of your research and interest is, what spaces, that our aesthetic, our beauty is welcome. A lot of people are talking about boycotting Dove. I'll never buy your products again. Some people were like, I've been telling y'all to use a Vino, I've been telling you to use this. And then there were a few posts where people were like, why don't you just buy black? There are soap makers. There are other companies that make products that are actually better for our skin in general. So just go over there where they're really not trying to cater to everyone. They're just catering for us. Do you see that as a viable solution, particularly when you're dealing with, people, putting out advertisements that use us and what we look like?
Right. I definitely see it as an option. I think it matters what we ultimately want. What's the goal, right? Are we trying to hurt Dove economically, where they lose, a part of the market and they really feel this in their pocket, so they do make a change? Is that our goal? Is our goal that they make changes such as like the Academy Award, when we were all saying the Oscars are so white, that we want to see more inclusivity as far as who's nominated and who actually wins? So I think it really depends upon, what our ultimate goal is. But I definitely support Black owners and entrepreneurs who are doing things for us. So
this has been such a great conversation. I'm so glad that you were able to join us
today.
So glad. You guys, this is Miss Jantina Anderson. You tell them where they can find you, if there's an email address they can reach you, if they have questions, or maybe just want to engage with you a little bit more about this topic. Let them know.
So I am on Twitter. I'll be honest, I'm not super active on Twitter, but my handle is @JantinaAnderson. You can also email me if you have any questions or would like to discuss this further. And my email address is jantina.anderson@gmail.com. And my name is a little different, so let me spell it. Jantina.
Awesome. So I have one last clip because I again, going on social media, looking at what people are saying, and there's this young lady. I cannot pronounce your username, ma'am. So please, if you're watching this or someone sends it to you, please don't think that I'm being, just being dismissive. I could not pronounce it, but I do have your Twitter handle, and it's @PestyLexi, which I thought was very funny. And she said it best, I think. She said, "This is deliberately inciting. It is nonsense. And they're doing this for the clicks and the likes. It's nonsense." And if I take anything from this, I do feel much more on that side with her, that this is deliberately inciting. And I think I agree with her because of what the apology said.
Okay.
because it said we
I
missed
can
the
see
mark.
that. Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I'm still very moved with your answer to that question of I hope not, and then the reasons why. So it's really up in the air for me at this moment.
We'll find out.
On was this deliberate, or you know what happened? We don't know, but what we do know is that you know there are places that we can go to feel
Right.
safe in what we look like, and we can definitely always buy outside of the big corporations for what we need. So thank you so much, Jantina,
Thank
for
you.
joining me today. And with that, that's going to be a wrap up of today's Sunday edition. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and Twitter at FCM Prime_Prime on Twitter and Instagram. And then on Facebook, / the Fifth Column Network. If you stay tuned today, you might get a little surprise later. So just make sure you like the page and share it. All right. Thank you guys so much. And we will see you next time.